I'll put names to it just so people can remember this. There is this notion about Lane Kiffin, right? That he is just this implement him in and boom, him and TBD gonna tear college football up. We're gonna beat people by 60. Okay. That high powered offense, that way of thinking, that kind of seems a little flash in the panish to me. It seems like, oh, okay, Orange Bowl, playoff berth, and a national championship, lose the national championship, and then he's gone. 4 years, maybe, right? You go with the Mario Cristobal approach, it seems like it'll be 9-3 with an Orange Bowl uh, appearance, 10-2 with ACC championship win. Year 3, they probably go back down to 9-3, lost to QB transitioning. But guess what? They still go to the Orange Bowl. Maybe they win, finish out 10-3. Year 4 is completely a reset in players, a complete reset and kind of coaching and things of that nature, and bringing in as many 5 stars as he has. Miami wins the ACC. Miami's in the championship game as far as winning the ACC and going to the playoffs, right? There seems to be that kind of notion between the two. Here's my whole thing about it. And my approach with us being in the infancy stage of building a program, I would want us led by Mario Cristobal as opposed to a flash in the pan kind of approach. Just that simple, in my opinion.
I don't know what Lane Kiffin's thought process would be taking the Miami job, but I do think it's fair to project that it's much more likely that Mario Cristobal, considering where he's from, where he attended school, graduated, played his football, all the ties and connections that he and his family have to that community, that he would be invested and entrenched and passionate about making it work and making it a championship program versus Lane Kiffin. I'm not saying that that's not possible, that he would look at it as, okay, this is a final destination. I would love my family to be here, for us to be here long-term and win multiple championships. But we don't know that. To this point, Lane Kiffin has viewed every job as a stepping stone to another job. Basically, get in there, turn it around, look good, show them a lot of offense, win some games, show that I can match up any defense, and then I'll get the next job. So you would know if Lane Kiffin would be thinking about, who knows, USC, Ohio State, Alabama, that kind of job next, or an NFL job.
The Bengals, the Dolphins, the Jack, like you
Yeah.
just never know. And I'm not one of those people that likes to just keep throwing jabs at him, because there's so many people who are like, I can't stand Lane Kiffin. I think the media has a view on him and they just portray it, and he's viewed like, for me, Mark, I was always taught that Lane Kiffin was like nuclear, stay away. The way that he was always portrayed in the media is just podunk, cocky idiot who's just going to do stupid stuff and leave your program. And I decided to do some research in it. And yes, he's hopped around, but it's always been for upgrades, except for when he, went and took the Alabama offensive coordinator job. And I think that was the best thing that could have happened to his career, to go to the Nick Saban coaching rehab center, okay, of the best coaches. This has been working well for him. So I think he's well. I think, yes, he would blow people out and would probably win the Coastal and just be far out in the way. But I think that is a flash in the pan approach. If you want a slow cooker, Thanksgiving, you ain't throwing the turkey in the microwave, okay? It's in the oven. It's going to take some hours, half a day in some instances, to make the right kind of roast and turkeys and things of that nature. So that's what I want for us. And like I said, that's just me. I'm not trying to portray that into other people and make you change your mind. I just think if you look at the two approaches, what worked for Miami long term is Mario Cristobal.
Somebody mentioned in the chat, and I believe that they were responding to your Kirby Smart build up and explaining how he had taken the MarkRogersTV level program and upgraded it year by year. And the comment was, we don't want to take that long. We can get Lane Kiffin and we can win immediately. Does no one out there, I can't imagine anybody listening to us right now would not take Kirby Smart like that and what's happening at Georgia.
Mark, there are people who
waiting for
would.
20 years.
Mark, there are people who would not. There are people who are telling who would openly. I said this last night. I said, would you take this flash in the pan approach, and year 2 he wins the natty, year 3 and then he's gone? Yes, give me that, as opposed to a sustainable 10, 11 win program. Yes, give me a natty. I want a natty. That's the way people look at it, man. That's just how it is.
What? We're talking about Lane Kiffin, and he's a talented coach. We're not talking about Urban Meyer. We were talking about Urban Meyer. I could see we basically signed a coach who can almost guarantee we're going to win a natty. What has Lane Kiffin ever done? I know he's talented. He knows what he's doing. He's won games, but when you're running down Mario Cristobal's resume in a short time at Oregon, Lane Kiffin's not won those kind of games. He's never won a division championship, a conference championship. He's not done any of those things, let alone go to a playoff and win a national championship with the likes of Alabama and Clemson and Ohio State and those teams lined up against him. He hasn't proven anything close to that.
Mark, you are spitting the facts. I said that to myself. I was like, I'm not going to go there, but that's a good question. You know, and like I said, this isn't a piss on Lane Kiffin show, but it's like, has he ever won a conference, Mark?
No.
So is this a factuation with him just because his personality?
He runs an exciting offense. Mm-hmm. He has improved programs, but let's understand, he did not upgrade Tennessee, and he was gone after 1 year. He did not upgrade USC. He just was the next coach. Of course, he was coming off Pete Carroll, so nobody's upgrading that. Yes, he did a great job at FAU, and now at Ole Miss. In this Ole Miss thing, let's understand, it's not like he went to Ole Miss and lifted them out of the basement and went 10-2 3 or 4 years in a row. This is only the second season. He went 5-5 last year, and now he's 9-2 now. He's had a nice season, but it's not like he sustained it there. He hasn't even shown that he can sustain it there.
And that is that not the definition of flash in the pan? That's all I'm saying. And then you had someone say in here, Daryl Drakeford, you're speaking about Lane like you know he'll be leaving in 3 years. Not fair. When has he not shown that he would do that? Every destination he's been to, he's done that. Now, I'm just asking.
Yeah, so the higher Lane Kiffin goes, the less likely he is to jump, and the less likely as quick as he has in the past, because there are less bigger jobs available. But still, that is how he's conducted his career thus far. Go, turn it around, show a lot of offense, show that I can coach and I can scheme and match people up, and we're going to be better, and then get the next job. And he's all been about career advancement, which is fine for him. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just not what I would think a first-rate college football program would want out of its head coach.
And like I said, it's, oh my God, the same dude who complained earlier just said, give me Ed Reed at head coach.
Yeah. Well, that's
Oh, come on, man.
that's not understanding what people do well. You know, take your favorite actor. That doesn't mean that they're going to be your favorite music artist. Like if you had them do that, or take your favorite and best linebacker. Are they going to be your best wide receiver? No, let's keep people in their lanes. Not
No
that he
pun
couldn't do
intended.
it at some point, not that he doesn't have the capabilities to learn and be that someday if he really dedicated himself to it, but he's not that right now.
Hey, it's just funny you say that, Mark, because I just was one. I've always wondered, like, what's this infatuation, And then people always say, well, what if this and what about? Okay, well, if anybody had the perfect scenario, they probably would be successful. So we'll see, we'll see. But anyway, we're getting close to the end here. So Miami has Duke coming up, and I think that game will more than likely be a stat game. Miami do well. I just think if Miami jumps out on them, then they'll be very successful. I don't know if honestly, it's just the film I've watched on Duke, they're going to play hard. Of course, they're very well coached and things of that nature. That looks like a job that'll be opening up soon. I think Cutcliffe has kind of run his course at that school. So maybe a young up and coming coach gets their first head coaching gig at a Duke. And maybe Duke could be a little bit of a jump off spot. So we'll see when it comes to that. But as far as what's going to happen this upcoming Saturday, I think Charleston Rambo is going to break the record against Duke. I think TVD is going to continue his great record of 5 straight games with at least 300 yards passing and 2 touchdowns passing. He's been doing that. So he'll end up breaking that ACC record this upcoming week, which will make it 6. I think the defense is still going to give up anywhere from 250 to 300 yards. It's what they do. I believe Miami has been giving up about 30 points. I don't think Duke is going to score 30, but I could definitely see Duke scoring about 17 or 20, somewhere in there, 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. So I'm going to have the University of Miami win out this game at 42 to 20 Miami, and that's just me. I think we're going to roll out and watch the championship games. And by that time, we're going to see a crap ton of things happen as far as the departure of Manny Diaz. We're going to have the athletic director, and Alonzo Highsmith should be hired by then. I know I said this stuff last week, but I think once the season is completely concluded, because once the regular season year is over, then that's the bowl game is different. You don't even see some of those coaches who are moving on. They don't even coach the bowl games because they want to already get things started and move in a different direction. So I think that's what's going to happen for Miami.
I just want to make it clear before we leave, when it comes to the subject of Lane Kiffin, I think he's an excellent football coach. I don't think he has proven to be yet one of the best in the business. He could prove that. I'm not saying that he's not on his way to proving that. He's not proven that yet. And I'm not a supporter of the Miami football team, and I don't have the investment that the Wholesome One or any of you have. I'm just giving you my fair assessment of what his career has been and what his approach has been to his career. That's all. If Miami hired Lane Kiffin, I think that would be a substantial upgrade. I just don't know if long term that would work out for you.
Thank you. That's it. I would be on here. I would be fired up and happy because it's a great upgrade over the crap that we've had to deal
absolutely.
with. He would be maybe the second best coach in school history to pick Miami. I mean, maybe you can't put him in front of Jimmy Johnson. You can't put him in front of the Godfather in Snellenberger. So I say he's second or third, but especially in recent times, in the last generation, he would be the best to take the job. So don't think that we're deliberately crapping on this person and Lane Kiffin. And if he were to take the job, I would be very excited. But in my unhumble opinion, based on what I would want for the University of Miami, as far as building an elite, sustainable program for a half decade to a decade, I don't believe Lane Kiffin to be that kind of coach. Just that simple.